Well, they're going to turn back, these Nightmares. Jimmy Hart moving into the ring with them. You see them. I got to say one thing about the Nightmares. They had certainly an extensive and very handsome wardrobe, but the wardrobe doesn't make the wrestler. It's just like, you know, the toot of that whistle doesn't make the freight train move. And Mike Jackson is proving this to the Nightmares right now, as he has got a death grip on that arm and has been moving most effectively. Good counter, and a good counter by the Nightmare. Good counter again. And Jackson just up and over his man and breaks his concentration, scores the hip toss takedown, and the Nightmare tags up. And so Mr. Jim Hart's going to have to rethink himself just a little bit. Well, a bit of verbiage going on between Mike Jackson and Jimmy Hart. Again, the tag is made. Good hip toss takedown. Jackson got the head scissors, and good wing over takedown by Jackson on the second Nightmare. And Hart now is beginning to show he's talking about pulling the mask and all of that, which is a bunch of baloney, frankly. Jackson catches him again. He's keeping these Nightmares busy. Now makes the tag with the Italian Stallion. And the Italian Stallion moves in. Beautiful fireman carry takedown. The Italian Stallion, twice national collegiate wrestling champion. Look at the ride. Aha! Nightmare got away, but look at that Granby roll, and it's the Italian Stallion back on his feet. And you can see the Nightmares complaining about that, but if they know the Italian Stallion, they know that they've got a lot of problems on their hands. Full arm drag and twist, makes the tag with Mike Jackson. Jackson moves in, punishes the deltoids. Reversal now by the Nightmares and a reversal by Jackson. Jackson again tags up with the Italian Stallion. He moves in. Like I said, the Nightmares facing their toughest challenge since coming here to championship wrestling from Georgia. And the Nightmare down in that corner makes the tag. And I overheard Mr. Hart saying, come on, fellas, you got to get organized. They need to do more and get organized. They better get with it in a hurry, because Mr. Jackson, and good block by the Italian Stallion. He blocks again. And that time, the Nightmare found himself caught in a full body slam. The second Nightmare charges. He, too, is caught in a full body slam. So the Italian Stallion. And now he's complaining about pulling on the tights. Nothing could be further from the truth. All right, the Italian Stallion. They lock up collar and elbow. The Italian Stallion gets a full arm drag and twist. Makes the tag with Mike Jackson. Jackson, a speedster. Again, the tag is made. Now it's made, and boy, they've got some teamwork going now. They are punishing the Nightmares and not letting them get back to their own corner. Side headlock. Italian Stallion comes on, caught by both of the Nightmares. And the Nightmares now taking advantage of that situation as they double team to snap mare on the Italian Stallion. Got him right square in the face with the flat of the foot. And a headbutt that staggers the Italian Stallion. That staggered him, and that makes me wonder if there was possibly anything in that mask. The Stallion taking tremendous punishment, a lot of percussions to the head. Full body slam by the Nightmare. And he rolls to one side as the Italian Stallion was one step ahead. And Mike Jackson moves into the ring, and it's Mike Jackson exploding on the Nightmares now. Mike Jackson closing in on Nightmare 1, a snapmare that takes him back to the canvas. Drives a knee into the side of the head. It's Jackson now with a side headlock. They're coming off the ropes. Ooh, brother. Jackson caught a knee in the small of the back. Right down around near that lumbar area. They're punishing that area of the back now. Now into the thoracic area, and it is Jackson. Those 26 vertebrae really jolted, and he's got to be in a lot of pain, and that's going to slow him up. Jackson having a little problem standing up now. Jackson flipped into the center of the ring. Again, the tag is made. And so the Nightmares may have found an opening here on Mike Jackson. But it was certainly an ill-gained opening because they caught him from behind. And again, the crowd, very partisan here, picking up a chant for Mike Jackson. Jackson fires to the midsection, fires again to the midsection. Jackson in a lot of trouble, needs to get over and tag up, fires to the abdominal wall of the Nightmare. The second Nightmare moves in behind Jackson, has Jackson up against the turnbuckle. Irish whip into the far turnbuckle. Jackson moves to one side. And so the Nightmare is in trouble, and Jackson explodes with a right hand to the top of the head. It's Jackson now. Irish whip into that far turnbuckle, charges in once again. He flips him into the center of the ring. Jackson catches the second Nightmare coming in. Jackson catches the first Nightmare. Two beautiful drop kicks, another drop kick by Mike Jackson. Jackson delivers a hard right hand to the top of the head of the Nightmare. Off the ropes, and caught him with a foot that time as the Nightmare tried to trip him up. It's Jackson very much in control of the situation now. Jackson catches him coming off and goes for the sleeper hold. Mike Jackson going for the sleeper hold. And the Nightmare in trouble now. The Nightmare in trouble as Jackson keeps the pressure on him. Jimmy Hart out there complaining. And wait a second. The second Nightmare comes off the ropes. And it is, well, Mike Jackson caught it from behind, and a real double cross there. No question about that, a real double cross. They switched partners. This obviously will be reported to the referee, but for the moment, obviously, that decision has to stand. Ox Baker has joined me.
You know, this new organization is talking about dream matches. Well, I can't wrestle on TV, but in these arenas, you're going to see Mr. Reality, Ox Baker, and the Heart Punch.
All right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's 6'5" and 311 pounds, and he does move that Heart Punch with an awful lot of authority.
Just how you feel. know, after last week getting a win over Bob Roop, then getting a shot at the TV title, I'm going to make the best of it. I can assure you that. Now, I'm not taking this for granted. I know it's not going to be any cakewalk. I know Bob Roop got that title by beating a tough individual, and I know it's going to be a hard, tough match. And I tell you this, I'll be the first one to admit, I'm not the world's greatest wrestler. I don't know all the moves. I don't know all of these suplexes and all that kind of stuff, but I am known for one thing. I got a pretty dead-gum good right hand right here, and not too bad of a left. And I got a pile driver that has put a few people in the hospital. So with those 3 maneuvers, I'm looking forward to walking out of this ring just a few short minutes from now with that TV title around my waist. And I'm going to put this crown on my head, brother. And you're going to be looking at the one and only true king of wrestling. I'm looking forward to it, Gordon.
Okay, thank you so very much, Jerry Lawler. Well, there you see them, the National Tag Team Champions, the Hollywood Blondes, Rip Rogers and Ted Oates, the Golden Boy. Hustler Rip Rogers and Miss Brenda Britton. Oh, and by the way, Miss Brenda Britton has complained to me several times about some of the things that you good folks have been saying to her in the arenas and coliseums around the country. And she's very upset when you call her a flea bag, so please do not call her a flea bag. It makes her very, very uncomfortable. All right, Rogers now finds out that Frank Lang is a strong individual indeed. Lang had the superior strength and leverage at that time. Roger Bond moves out now against Rogers. Rogers on a reversal on the arm dragon twist. Bond trying to reverse it. Rogers, by the way, weightlifting champion, bodybuilding champion, now makes the tag with the Golden Boy, Ted Oates. Bond reverses on Ted Oates and tags up. Frank Lang moves back in once again. Lang, superbly built athlete, has quite a background in athletics throughout his high school and college career. Up against those ring ropes. And it is Oates driving the back of the elbow into the pectoralis majors of Lang. Makes the tag with Hustler Rip Rogers. Rogers drives one into the side of the rib cage. There's a snap there that takes Lang to the canvas. Lang rolls to one side, and Rogers suddenly finds himself in a problem. My, the folks here at the television sports arena are beginning to call Miss Brenda Britton a flea bag. Titch, folks. Shouldn't do that. Front chancery now. Partial front chancery by Bond on Rip Rogers. And as Bond tried to uncork a right hand, it was the Golden Boy, Ted Oates, catching him a full body slam on Bond. Oates had tagged in. Oates, duck under, go behind, has him way belly to back suplex on Bond. And Bond came down partially on that shoulder, and he's got some problems. And it's Rip Rogers moving back into the ring and punishing Mr. Bond. Once again, the tag is made. Rip Rogers and Ted Oates pretty much in control of this situation. If Bond does not get over and tag up, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And he's having problems getting back to his feet. You notice the way they're keeping him into their own corner. Bond now trying to get over to that neutral corner, but there's only one corner he's going to find any surcease in at all, and that's his own corner if he can make the tag. Rip Rogers gets him with a side headlock. Rogers tags up again, the Golden Boy, and it's no wonder these two men are the National Tag Team Champions. Perfect coordination and teamwork. And there you see what I'm talking about. Double percussions to the chest of Roger Bond. One from Rip Rogers, one from Ted Oates. And before the tag can hardly be made, he catches him again, a lariat, this time across the throat. And again, a slow, deliberate tag. Ted Oates moving in there. The Golden Boy. There's that DDT. There is the DDT. The DDT that was used so effectively by Jake the Snake Roberts, now being used so effectively by the Golden Boy himself. Bob Roop has joined us here at the desk, and
the fact that this match is even taking place is a travesty. This man beating me last week was nothing but a fluke. All that Jerry Lawler has ever done is come out here, call himself a king. Oh, he's good with his fist. He can't wrestle. All he ever did that made any national headlines was beat up some 150-pound comedian in Memphis. Now, he is not championship material, and I'm going to go in the ring right now and show him why not.
All right. The statement was made by Bob Roop, the national heavyweight television champion. And he seems indeed grimly determined to undermine Mr. Lawler and his title of king. So let's go to the squared circle. One fall. Jerry Lawler moving out against Bob Roop. And Roop now employing a little bit of psychological warfare, if you please. And Roop continues to arbitrate rather than... brother, when they did lock up, it was something else. Lawler missed with a right. And so Roop... Lawler misses, and they lock up once again. Up against, and Lawler misses again, and Roop that time. Humiliating slap across the back of the head, and so Jerry the King Lawler has got some problems here. Lawler is such an affable individual. And brother, Roop is really beginning to show Jerry Lawler the way to go. All right, Lawler bowls him back into the turnbuckle. And a good block, a good series of blocks, and Roop connects with a right hand. And I mean Lawler is being outsmarted at every turn. Roop has ducked away from several punches and countered him and blocked him very well and countered extremely well. Again, they lock up collar and elbow. And Lawler trying to find a way to go. Lawler gets the arm drag and twist on Bob Roop. Roop reverses the situation, and Lawler is down to the canvas, and Roop disdainfully just releases his hold. And Lawler now, a serious study of frustration and consternation. Look at those eyes, trying to figure this one out. And it could be that we're going to see the abdication of the throne. Side headlock. Roop fires him off. Roop drops the canvas, drops him. And Lawler again tried to set him up to use that elbow. And now Lawler really beginning to get frustrated. Slapping that mat in total, utter frustration. And Roop continues his psychological warfare. Roop, by the way, has his bachelor's degree in political science out of the University of Southern Illinois. Wait a minute. That time Lawler scored effectively. Roop got a bit overconfident, and Lawler very quickly seized that opportunity. And Roop now misses with a right hand, so Lawler showing out two can play at this game. Roop bowls him back into the ropes. Now Roop gets him into the turnbuckle. Good blocks by Lawler, and Lawler scores quickly and effectively into the face of one Bob Roop. And Roop now starts to charge in, and Lawler, I got to say, kept his head. He kept his cool, but Roop looked like he was about to lose his for a moment. Roop now with an arm drag and twist on Jerry the King Lawler. And it's Lawler. You know, we call Ronnie Garvin the man with the hands of stone. Lawler has got some concrete in those hands, too. There's no question about it. They don't call Lawler the cement mixer for nothing. Watch him as he gets set to move in now. Side headlock now by Bob Roop. Lawler fires him off, and it is Roop that time. And so Lawler now definitely moving ahead. You talk about mental gymnastics. We're seeing chess at its finest here, human chess. And it is Lawler now who has definitely taken the initiative away from one Bob Roop. It's just like sometimes the first half and the second half of a football game. The first half, one team has the initiative and has a roll going. In the second half, you find a completely rejuvenated team coming out. And Lawler, I think, just studied this man and learned him just well enough to where now he's a step ahead. Roop. Now Roop punishing the deltoids and has a full arm dragon twist. Notice the way he's bringing that across his own shoulder, putting extra stress and strain on Lawler. Lawler, an extremely creative man, by the way, a very talented artist. Participates in about every sport known to man. Roop now pounding away, and Lawler fires back. And we've got a slugfest going now. Right hands to the side of the jaw exchanged by both men, and it's Roop who's backing away. It's Roop who's backing away. Once again, they lock up. Lawler in trouble now as Roop wants to set him for that pile driver, and he does so. And Lawler, who is known for the pile driver. And so now again the tide has possibly turned. As Bob Roop, the national television champion, knows sir, Lawler's got his foot on the rope. And I'll tell you, Lawler is more than capable of Pier sixing it.
Get off that hair. 1, 2,
Referee Nick Patrick count, and it is Lawler caught in the base of the skull. High vertical suplex by Bob Roop. Bob Roop into a lateral press now. Lawler powering out before the count of 3. And so the King has got himself some problems here as the momentum is shifted once again. There's the neck breaker by Bob Roop on Jerry Lawler, and Lawler again powers out. This match right now, ooh, brother. That one caught him. And now it's Lawler. Lawler exploding with a series of stinging left jabs. And a beautiful right cross that puts Roop back to the canvas. Lawler closing in on him once again. Lawler trying to set him for the pile driver. Roop blocked it very nicely and bowled him back into the turnbuckle. And as Roop started to charge in, Lawler caught him a savant-like blow to the midsection. Chopping right hand to the side of the jaw. Lawler catches him again, but Roop is firing back. Roop brings him up, a full body slam on Jerry the King Lawler. Roop going outside the ring now, moving up on that top ring rope. And it is Roop. As he came down, Lawler caught him in the pit of the stomach. Lawler sets him. He drives him with a pile driver. Caught him with the pile driver. And it is a very pleased crowd here at the Television Sports Arena, and it's Lawler driving that fist into the head. And wait a second, Lawler attacked now by the Nightmares, by the New York Assassins. And so Lawler being set upon by the entire Jimmy Hart entourage. Lawler being driven into the mat. Lawler being pounded down into the mat. And just a minute. Here comes Steve Constance. It's his Brad Armstrong. There was outside interference, so Bob Roop will maintain his championship. Jerry Lawler is the victor, but it's by disqualification, so that means that Bob Roop holds on to his title. But if it were not for Jimmy Hart and his entourage, things would have been, in my opinion, entirely different. Well, it's a bitter victory for one Jerry Lawler, but our time is completely gone for this week. We hope that you'll join us again next week at the same time. Until then, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long from the Peach State of Georgia. and welcome again to Championship Wrestling from Georgia. I'm Gordon Soley, your host, and what an hour we've got in store for you this week. I can assure you that we're going to be seeing the Boogie Woogie Man, luscious Jimmy Valiant in action. Also the Hollywood Blondes. We'll be watching Bob Roop, the national TV champion, Jerry the King Lawler, Iron Mike Sharp, and the New York Assassins. Jimmy Hart is a pretty well upset young man right now. Mr. Hart has had, well, it seems like one humiliation after another of late. But all I can tell you is that, frankly, in my opinion, Mr. Hart is getting much of exactly what he deserves. He made a lot of claims and a lot of protests. Last week, if you remember, some of the comments that I felt were basically very untrue. One comment being that Thunderbolt Patterson held him while Ole Anderson slapped him around. I didn't see it that way, and frankly, I don't think you saw it that way. So anyway, I just thought I'd try and make that point while I could. We've got a matchup coming in the ring, so let's go to the ring at this time. It's the Boogie Woogie Man. Luscious Jimmy Valiant moving out against Dale Burnett. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Once again, their collar and elbow, and it's the Boogie Woogie Man. Up against the ropes, he reverses the situation on Burnett. And a good block by Valiant, and he catches him with a good, solid right hand, driving him to the canvas. Off the ropes once again, the Boogie Woogie Man catches him in the sleeper hold. He's got the sleeper on him, and so Burnett is going to be hard-pressed. He's about the same size as Valiant. Finally makes it... Valiant keeps that sleeper hold on him. And Burnett makes it to those ring ropes, and referee calling the count now, causes the break. And again, the Boogie Woogie Man closes in. There's a thumb into the throat of Mr. Burnett, and he's coming up mighty slowly, as a lot of that air supply has been cut off. And Burnett complaining about the thumb to the throat, and I can't say that I really blame him too much. He has taken a lot of punishment here. Hard right hand, another looping right hand that off the ropes, and it is the back of the elbow catching one Dale Burnett, and you can hear him saying that it's all over. Catches him with that elbow once again, coming off the ropes. The Boogie Woogie Man crashes down across the chest, goes into a lateral press, hooks the far leg, and scores the pinfall. And so, the Boogie Woogie Man himself scores the pinfall and takes the measure on one Dale Burnett. And so our opening match very quickly goes to Jimmy Valiant. At 24th, match time is 8:30. NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair defends his title against the former champion Tommy Wildfire Rich. It'll be Jimmy Hart's New York Assassins against Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. The television champion Bob Roop defends his title against Ronnie Garvin. The Hollywood Blondes face Brad Armstrong and Jimmy Valiant. It'll be Mr. Ito against Jacques Rougeau. Remember, that Saturday, the 24th, in Columbus, Ohio at the fairgrounds. To regain that National Tag Team Championship, but all I can say with the events that have been happening lately, a lot of things are coming down, so... well, we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on, but...
Gordon Soley, let me tell you what, everything you've been talking about's been a lie, baby. You saw Thunderbolt Patterson hold me, and you saw Ole Anderson hit me and hit me and hit me. Well, let me tell you something, Ole Anderson, you're going to be paid back. Look at my face. My face is still bruised from this. I promise you, Ole Anderson, you and Thunderbolt Patterson, you ain't through with me yet. I'm going to get you if it's the last thing I do.
Now, wait just a minute. Just a minute.
They held me 2-on-1.
Wait a minute, you're saying they held you 2-on-1.
I'm saying that you saw it with your own eyes, and you know they did.
Just stay here. Stay here, Mr. Hart. Let me ask Jim Reeves, our director, a question right now. Jim, is it possible that we could possibly sometime later in the program get a replay of that incident that occurred last week? It is. Okay, fine.
I hope you see this.
Fine.
You'll know it was 2-on-1 then.
Right, that's fine, Mr.
You'll know
Hart.
it is, and the whole
I'll
world
call
can see
you
it. But
back.
I'm going to get even. I promise you that. I'll get even.
Yeah, you'll get even, all right. I'll tell you what, now that I've got Jim Reeves' word that we will be able to get a replay of that later on in the program, as quickly as it's ready, I will have Mr. Hart back out here. Right now, though, let's go to the ring, and let's wait for that music now for the Hollywood Blondes. There's the bell, and as usual, Hustler Rip Rogers is still not relieved himself of his outer garments. He's steadily beginning to do so. It'll be the Hollywood Blondes moving out against Frank Lang and Ted Allen. Lang and Allen are indeed a very fine tag team combination. They're facing the former national tag team champions. And, of course, the Hollywood Blondes are strictly on that championship trail again now that we do have new national tag team champions. They lock up collar and elbow very quickly. The Golden Boy has Ted Allen, rather, into the ropes, and it is the Golden Boy punishing Allen again with knees to the midsection. A reversal by Allen here, and it is the Golden Boy caught in a high back shot. Good drop kick. The Golden Boy tags up with Hustler Rip Rogers. Remember, side headlock now by Ted Allen, and he gets the hip lock takedown and keeps the side headlock on Hustler Rip Rogers. The tag is made. Frank Lang moves into the ring, and he's got the side headlock. Lang, tall, powerfully built individual, makes the tag with Ted Allen. Ted Allen, a stocky but tough competitor. And Mr. Rogers catches him in the head scissors. Allen escapes from that. Once again, a hip lock takedown by Allen. Rogers tried to roll him into a pinning combination. Allen upset him on that, however. Again, the tag is made. The Golden Boy moves in. And Allen very quickly gets that side headlock right back on him. Miss Brenda Britton pacing back and forth in front of the ring. And again, I would like to remind all of you folks, if I may, a word of advice, please. It upsets her greatly as she goes into the arenas around the country and you start calling her a flea bag. She really takes umbrage to that comment, so please refrain and desist from calling her a flea bag. It's very upsetting to her. Allen slips away. Rogers complaining to the referee, Nick Patrick. This is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Tag is made once again. Lang moves in. Lang at 244 pounds. Excellent definition and muscular contour. Armbar now by Lang. Let's see how Rogers is going to handle this situation. Rogers catches him off the ring ropes. Good leapfrog by Lang, and Lang wing over on Hustler Rip Rogers. The Golden Boy is in there, and he catches Frank Lang in that prefrontal lobe and does a lot of damage, rocks him again. Brother, that'll alter your personality in a hurry. Rip Rogers coming up there, and before the count, they managed to double team on Frank Lang. And again, they're double teaming on Lang. Double body slam, and it is the Golden Boy with a lateral press. Lang powers away from it, however. Beautiful gut-wrench salto by Ted Oates, and I'll tell you something about Oates. You may not like his philosophy, but brother, he can compete. Again, the tag is made. So the Hollywood Blondes continue to dominate the situation. And it's Rogers catching him that time. Lang went down, came down on the shoulder and on the hip. Lang is rocked again and just barely holding on. And again, you see the Golden Boy, and he's in the wrong corner. The tag is made. Back of the elbow into the pectoralis majors of Frank Lang. Off the ropes once again. Rolling reverse by Lang. He may have Rogers. No, sir, into the ropes. Into the ropes. Brother, you talk about a beautiful move by Frank Lang. Looked for a minute like he had Rogers where he wanted him. Rogers made the tag. It's the Golden Boy in there. And again, Lang powers out before the count. And again, Lang powers out, as both the Golden Boy and Hustler Rip Rogers have tried repeatedly to pin this man. Lang has shown that he's made of stern stuff indeed, because he just flatly refuses to be pinned. Lang's head smashed into the turnbuckle. He's dazed and groggy. Those knees are rubbery. He's trying to battle over and make the tag. They double team, and Lang again now trying to get over there, and it is just to no avail whatsoever, as the Golden Boy brings him up a full body slam again, jarring those 26 vertebrae, then the knee into the chest, the lateral press. Rogers lashes out with a boot into the side of the rib cage. Good move by Lang. Good counter by Lang. Had him to an outside cradle. And Rogers now blocks him as he tried to get over there and make the tag with Ted Allen. And so Lang is steadily being worn down by the Hollywood Blondes. Their strategy appears to be working now as they continue to keep him away from the corner. Lang retaliating on the Golden Boy. And it is Lang trying, and he does. He smashes Golden Boy's head back in, but notice the way the Golden Boy blocked him. Made the tag with Hustler Rip Rogers. Rogers moves in again. Rogers pounding away rabbit punches to the back of the head, the base of the skull of Frank Lang. Again, a snap mare that takes him to the canvas. Lang, I'll tell you what, he is really amazing me with his fantastic effort. Great second effort. They have completely blocked him from getting over to his corner. Ted Allen has not been able to do anything whatsoever for Lang for the past many moments. And so it is Lang still continuing to have punishment after punishment heaped upon him, and he cannot get over to make that tag. A critical situation for Frank Lang. And it is the Golden Boy catching Ted Allen, and Allen right out there. Referee Nick Patrick sending him back to his corner. Once again, the tag was made. Lang has still not been able to get over and make the tag. Rogers catches him. Now the flat of the foot, and now the flat of the foot to the side of the jaw. And they have turned this Frank Lang every way but loose. And again, he powers out. Some of the greatest second effort that I've ever seen in a competitor. He has been battered from pillar to post. He has taken unbelievable punishment, and he has not conceded. He has not given up. He ducks to one side, nearly, well, collapsing to the canvas, trying to get over and make the tag. And Lang just will not concede. This man has intestinal fortitude, the likes of which I have not seen in a long, long time. The Hollywood Blondes driving down, and again, Lang is able to roll to one side before the count. And again, the Golden Boy moves in and blocks him before he can get over and make the tag. And it's a desperate situation indeed now for Frank Lang. And the Golden Boy catches him again. Lang doubled up and all but helpless now. And what's keeping this man going absolutely defeats me. I really cannot imagine the amount of punishment that he's taking, and he is still able to move. Again. And Lang makes the tag. Lang makes the tag, and it's Ted Allen in there exploding with a right hand on both Hustler Rip Rogers and Ted Allen catches him with a high backdrop. Allen in for a pinning combination. Misses the pin, however. A snapmare that has back, and he drove 230 pounds right into the abdominal wall. But the Golden Boy still had plenty of upper body strength left. Up into those ring ropes. A reversal now. Leapfrog by Allen. Allen caught from behind by Hustler Rip Rogers. Tag was made. Caught him from behind, scored the pinfall. And so that victory indeed, but a hard-fought victory for Mr. Rip Rogers and the Golden Boy. Well, I see Mr. Hart is back.
You know what, Gordon? I've got my composure back right now, but after all, I was almost put in the hospital permanently by Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. You know, like I said, I sat home and I did a little bit of thinking, and I said, you know, I'm going to get even with these two clowns no matter what it takes. If it takes all the money I've got in the bank, I will get even with them. I promise you this. So, Ole Anderson, you and Thunderbolt Patterson, you've been a little lucky. You know, you've been able to win a few matches around certain areas. But I might bring my nightmares. I'll bring my dirty white boys in. I might bring the Gilberts. But no, you know what I've done? I've picked the phone up, and I'll call me a couple of guys that I know. And I'm not going to spill the beans today, baby. I'm not going to let you know who they are, because I'm not going to let them train and plan for these two guys. But they are giants. They are big, and they are bad, and they can do a lot of destruction. You know, Ole Anderson, they sit here and say, feed us anybody you want, Hart. Bring your best on. Well, I promise you this, baby. The two men that you're going to see when I'm ready to unleash them on you, like I said, baby, you can run, but you can't hide, Ole Anderson. Thunderbolt Patterson, you can run, but you can't hide. You know, we had him in the ring one time, Thunderbolt, and all the thing I could hear was feet don't fail me now. Well, baby, it took two of them to bring down Jimmy Hart. Two men against me. I weigh 159 pounds. Both of them to go weigh 600. I can't hardly talk. I'm so excited. Like I said, time is running out, Ole Anderson. You and Thunderbolt, time is running out, and that's a promise, baby.
Mr. Hart, before you leave, I would like to bring something to your attention. I am going to be able to play a replay of what occurred last week, and I'll invite you out when we're ready to have that, and we'll see if it was 2-on-1.
You'll see what
Right now, here's a special word about tonight. NWA Wrestling returns to Columbus, Ohio in the fairgrounds Saturday, November 24th. Match time is 8:30. NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair defends his title against the former champion Tommy Wildfire Ricks. It'll be Jimmy Hart's New York Assassins against Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. The television champion Bob Roop defends his title against Ronnie Garvin. The Hollywood Blondes face Brad Armstrong and Jimmy Valiant. It'll be Mr. Ito against Jacques Rougeau. Remember, that Saturday the 24th in Columbus, Ohio at the fairgrounds.
Football players, these ex-basketball players wanting to get into the true sport of wrestling and telling how tough they are. Me and Mr. Ito can knock you down anytime you get your big mouth in the ring there.
Mr. Baker, I like one thing to say to you, just one thing, okay? I'm a professional athlete. I do all my action in the ring, not with my mouth. And any time you want to get into it...
I want to tell these people, they get to see them people on TV, but Ox Baker is smart and... Ron, will you get out of here? Nobody wants to talk to you anymore. Everybody has to pay to see the fantastic Ox Baker beat people up. And Ron... if you ever get in that ring, I don't care who you were, martial arts champion.
Any place, you, Ito, or anybody, it's an open contract.
You notice how scared that man is. He's like a lot of other guys. When they hear the name Ox Baker and they see this fist and I drive it into their heart, they're going to go down. And the gentleman like I am, I do the right thing. I kick him right in the face.
What can I say about Ox Baker? 6'5", 311 pounds, and he does have a devastating heart punch. But what a match that'd be. Ron Slinker, martial arts expert, catch-can wrestler. That would be something. Let's go to the ring now. There you see him, Iron Mike Sharp. And he's moving out against Mike Starbuck. All right. Sharp charged him. Starbuck ducked away. Starbuck ducks away once again. And Sharp complaining. He wants to meet him head-on, and I can't blame him, but Starbuck realizes a head-on confrontation is possibly going to lead to a lot of problems because Sharp does hold a height and weight advantage on him. He misses again. So Starbuck has been really dazzling Mr. Sharp with his footwork, that's for sure. Remember this match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit, Iron Mike Sharp. Out of Canada. Brother, he is big, he is powerful, has participated in just about every sport imaginable, including, if I remember correctly, the Canadian National Amateur Boxing Champion. Sharp with the side headlock. And it's Sharp noticing the way, and the referee, Scrappy McGowan, calling the shot on that one and admonishing Iron Mike Sharp. Sharp driving Starbuck's head into the turnbuckle, drives it in once again. And so Mr. Starbuck has taken a lot of punishment in that corner. Good block by Starbuck, and it's Starbuck retaliating. Starbuck staggers Sharp, catches him with a right, then a forearm, another forearm, and Sharp has been, well, he's been shaken up. Ooh, brother. As he charged him that time, Sharp drove that knee into the chest of Mike Starbuck. And a forearm across the back of Starbuck. Oh! Could hear that one all the way across the television sports arena. Starbuck in a lot of trouble now. He's got him up over those turnbuckles. A clubbing forearm into the chest. And Starbuck has got himself a load of problems here. Starbuck trying to get back through those ropes. Iron Mike Sharp catches him another clubbing forearm across the back. Starbuck down and in a lot of trouble as Iron Mike Sharp has completely dominated the situation, except for one brief flurry by Starbuck. And Sharp goes down that time. There was Starbuck again. Moving to one side, and Starbuck tried to set him for a backdrop, and Iron Mike Sharp was a step ahead of him. Off the ropes. Oh. Well, a forearm lariat is exactly what he did with a side lateral press. And that scores the pinfall. And so Iron Mike Sharp is indeed the victor here over one Mike Starbuck. Well, we can see an argument ensuing there with the referee. I want to take a second right now to talk to Brad Armstrong. A lot of things have been happening in the past week or so. And, well, it's before we talk to Brad, let's take a look at what's going on here at the ring as Iron Mike Starbuck was just hurtled from the ring by Mike Starbuck, rather. Let me talk to Brad Armstrong. Thank you for giving Mike Starbuck a helping hand, sir. They are indeed an impressive and powerful tag team combination. We're going to pick up the closing moments of a match with the Long Riders. So let's take a look at this most impressive tag team in action right now. Let's join it in progress.
Back from left field. Iceman, though, still in lots of trouble. But the hard misses. And Iceman rolls it over, and here comes Zumhoff, who steps right into a blow, and then fights back. Takes care of everybody. Irwin, Wild Bill is in. There's Hogg. That's the official contest. Hogg and Wild Bill Irwin, Zumhoff, and the Iceman battling it out in the main event of World Class Championship Wrestling. Now Hogg has Zumhoff in trouble. They're going to hold him up, and Zumhoff slips underneath. Irwin hits Irwin. Hogg smashed Wild Bill, but Zumhoff is garroted. 1, 2, 3, and it is the Irwins over Iceman and King Parson. Hogg getting the pin. Well, let's go to Mark Lorette.
8 minutes, 16 seconds. There are the title holders, the Irwin brothers.
I want to take a moment right now to talk to the national heavyweight champion, the man with the hands of stone, Ronnie Garvin. Obviously, that is just one notch below the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's right, Gordon. I feel like I'm one step below, and I'm going to take that final step when I meet Ric Flair. And I'm going to tell you, Ric Flair, I've been after you for a long time in the best conditions I've ever been in all my life. And there's a lot of people after my title. Walt McDaniel is one of them, Ox Baker.
All right, well, everybody's kind of looking forward to the big match that's upcoming. Of course, the television championship going on the line later on here on Championship Wrestling from Georgia. I'm Gordon Soule, your host, and joining me right now is...
Truly, baby, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, the greatest manager in the history of professional wrestling today. You know, I can't believe how lucky that Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson are. But let me tell you something, baby, time is running out. I don't care how much money it takes. I don't care who I have to bring in. I'm going to get rid of you guys once and for all. And let me tell you something, baby, the Terminators are on their way. Remember that. The Terminators are on their way, Gordon Soule.
Well, I'll keep that thought in mind for sure. Team champions, I'm referring, of course, to the long ride.
That's right, Gordon. I'm glad to see you're out in other endeavors as writing a book here.
And you know, I wasn't Goldie the author.
That was a very good tag team you just saw up there, those two young gentlemen up there, Ryan Adidas and Ron Ritchie.
Gentlemen were punk.
All right, brother. My brother gets a little upset sometimes. But I'll tell you what, people, when it comes down, they were a good tag team, but they're not this good. They're not the champions. You know, little Jimmy Hart comes running out here in those funky-looking jackets of his, saying the First Family and all this. He ain't no First Family. The First Family's right here. The Irwin brothers. We got the belt. Now, Ole Anderson, and what's that guy runs around with him?
Thunderbolt Patterson.
They're trying to be somebody, but they ain't nobody. We got the belt, people. Then you got the two Hollywood blonde guys with a little lady running around behind them. They think they're somebody, but they ain't nobody, because we got the belt and we are somebody. And the First Family of Wrestling are the Irwin brothers, Scott Hogg and his brother Wild Bill. We're the First Family. The First Family. Let me tell you people something. You've seen me before, and you've seen my brother before. You saw me beat up Tommy Rich, and in the Omni you saw us beat up everybody that got in our way. Now, anybody else that wants to come up front and put their name on the dotted line, they're going to get beat up too. And let me ask you one more thing, Mr. Thornton Goldie. Who did you ever beat? What do you do? Beat them up.
We'll be back in just a minute. You see them, the Hollywood Blondes, Rip Rogers and Ted Oates, Hustler Rip Rogers and the Golden Boy Ted Oates, accompanied at ringside by Miss Brenda Britton, going up against the team now of Lee Ramsey and Mike Jackson. One fall, a 10-minute time limit, an Australian tag team event. All right, Miss Brenda Britton removing herself from the ring now. There's the bell. And it's Lee Ramsey moving out first against Hustler Rip Rogers. Ramsey tried for an ankle sweep, and Rogers did a back out. Now they meet collar and elbow, and it's Rip Rogers getting the side headlock on Ramsey. Ramsey turns that into a top wrist lock and gets the takedown on Rogers. And so it's Rogers making the tag with Ted Oates, the Golden Boy. Ted Oates, a very durable competitor. And a very bright competitor. Well, clean break, and Oates just standing there, and Ramsey watching him carefully. Oates showing utter disdain for Ramsey. Gets a side headlock and makes the tag with Rip Rogers. Reversal there, and here comes Mike Jackson tagging up. Mike Jackson, University of Alabama, Birmingham. And Jackson wastes no time in setting fire to one Rip Rogers. So Rip the Hustler Rogers has got his problems. Jackson catches him. Good shoulder smash coming off the ropes. Lateral press as Rogers powering out. Jackson moving on him once again. And it's the Golden Boy moving in there. All right, Golden Boy, Ted Oates getting the side headlock. Jackson fires him off. Jackson drops to the canvas. Jackson drops down again. That time it was Jackson catching with a good drop kick coming off the ropes. And Oates does a hurry crawl back. Tags up for the Hustler, Rip Rogers. Referee Nick Patrick telling Brenda Britton to take her seat again. Rogers, an Irish whip on Jackson. Rogers charges in. Jackson ducks to one side. Full arm drag and twist by Jackson. Jackson down across the biceps and triceps. And so, Lee Ramsey now putting some punishment on Rip Rogers. Rogers gets him up against the ring ropes, however. Caught him coming off the ropes, but Ramsey goes back to a top wrist lock. Takes the Hustler, Rip Rogers, back to the canvas. Ted Oates, and that rocked Ramsey. A polo-like forearm caught him under the jaw, drove him to the canvas. And Oates catches him on another forearm alongside the jaw. Ramsey's taken two hard percussions to the head. Good high knee to the side of the head again. That's got to short circuit the gray matter. Oates overhooks the head, makes the tag with Rip Rogers. Rogers catching him in the thoracic area of the back, double thrust into the throat of Ramsey. And so Hustler Rip Rogers has things well under control. Rogers sets him up. Rogers again making the tag with Ted Oates, the Golden Boy. And the Golden Boy moves in behind his man. Sets him up. Belly to back souffle. Well executed by Oates. Lateral press. Didn't allow the pin. Had him down for the count. In my opinion, he had him, but he did not allow the pin. Again, the tag is made. Rip Rogers caught him with a lariat coming off the ropes. Got the three. Got the three. And so, the combination of the Hollywood Blondes proved to be victorious in this particular episode. Ox Baker has joined us.
I wonder where your national heavyweight champion, Ronnie Garvin, is. Is he scared because of the talent that I put on his TV last week? Where's Jerry Lawler? Is he scared of the hard punch? These gentlemen, sooner or later, have to meet the fantastic Ox Baker, and I'm going to beat them one at a time or both together. Because one thing that I do, I love to hurt people, and I'm going to hurt them too, gentlemen, whenever they stop running.
Rude going up against Mike Starbuck. One fall, 10-minute time limit. And I'll tell you, Mr. Rude is a sensational athlete, former national arm wrestling champion. Now makes his home in Beverly Hills, California. Originally from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, as a matter of fact. He has been inclined to show Mr. Hart which way to go, too, I might add. Rude fires back with a hard right hand. He caught one from Starbuck, but proved to Mr. Starbuck that he will handle his own weight. Rude has absolutely no wasted flesh. Good spin under takedown by Rude. By the way, our next videotaping here at WTBS in Atlanta, Georgia will be on Wednesday night, December 12th. And if you'd care to come down and see the matches in person, the number to call for reservations, admission, by the way, is free. Number to call for reservations, area code 404-961-1649. That's 961-1649. And we certainly welcome you to come on down and see the matches. Rick Rude keeping an armbar now on Mike Starbuck. Mounts the pressure on him. All right, Rude eyeing his man carefully. Look at the extremely outstanding muscular conformation and definition, particularly in the abdominal wall of one Rick Rude. Rude brings him up. Full body slam. And goes to an armbar once again. Rude, extremely well contoured. Scrappy McGowan, the referee, checking with Starbuck. So Rude maintaining more pressure on, and look at Starbuck bringing Rude up. Has him up into a slam, but it is Rude hanging in there, and so Starbuck finds himself on the receiving end. Rude with exceptionally powerful biceps, triceps, deltoids, extremely well delivered. And the referee warning Starbuck, telling him to come on off the ropes. Rude waiting for him. Rude closes in, once again collar and elbow. Now it's a side headlock by Starbuck. And Rude utilizing that tremendous upper body strength. Starbuck got some extra leverage that time that he was certainly not entitled to. And again, Starbuck getting that extra leverage. Being forced to break by the referee. Catches Rude a couple in the head, and Rude's got the drop. Wow, Rude fires back. Rude catches him again. He drops him to one knee. The elbow to the base of the skull of Mike Starbuck. Rude has him up a full body slam. Rude brings Starbuck up once again. Presses him above his head. That's 230 pounds of live weight. He's pressed above his head. Crashes down across his chest. Gets the 3 count. He gets the 3 count. And it is all over for one Mike Starbuck. And certainly a very impressive victory for one Rick Rude. Rude has joined me. I think you'd have to agree with me that Mr. Rude was most impressive just now.
I don't care about Rick Rude. What I care about is Tommy Rich. And I know wherever he is right now, he's sweating. You know what's bad about that? It's a cold sweat. Maybe, Tommy Rich, you think because millions and millions of people are watching me, people in the Philippines and Australia and all over the rest of the world are watching me here, that you're safe. Maybe you think that I'm going to back up and not give you what Bob Roop gives his opponents because all these people are watching. Well, you're making a big, big mistake. And all you other wrestlers out there, Boogie Woogie, you watch. Garvin, you watch. I'm going to give Rich what I'd like to give every one of you. And I guarantee you, the only way you're going to enjoy it is because it's not you.
Well, thank you so very much, the national television champion, Bob Roop. Original Assassin and Jimmy Hart.
You better believe it. You know, everywhere I've been having to go lately, I've been having to carry this cane because every corner I go around, these people, these stupid people over here in the arenas, they try to throw beer on me. They try to thump me with cigarettes and try to grab me, but I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm so excited I can't even talk. Let me tell you something, man. I've been carrying this cane. You know why? Because on the street corners, I've got to look around for Ole Anderson or Thunderbolt Patterson trying to sneak up behind me and hit me, or Rick Rude or maybe Tommy Rich. Well, I'm throwing this cane away, baby. You know why? Because next to me is my new guardian angel, baby, the Assassin.
You know, Gordon, you and I go back a ways, and I probably am the most imitated wrestler in professional wrestling today. Of course, you understand that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, and there have been a lot of people that have tried to ride on my coattails and the coattails of my great reputation, but they can't match the original Assassin in ability. You know, we live in the age of specialization. You know, doctors, they specialize in various forms of medicine. Lawyers, they specialize in various forms of law and so on. Well, I specialize in various forms of pain. And when this man contacted me, this man with all of his money, with his great knowledge, contacted me and said that he had some things that needed taking care of. I said, how much are you paying? And he said, lots. I said, well, how much is lots? And when he named a figure, then I knew that this man and myself were going to do business. So, Mr. Hart, let me give you my hand right now, and I'm going to tell you and the wrestling world, anything that you want done, you lay the coins down, and, Daddy, it will be done.
This man can back up anything I say, baby. Now, let me tell you something right now. This man is great. There's no doubt about it. But I've got a little videotape I want you to see, baby, of a group that I call Jimmy Hart's Dirty White Boys. And I'm not a whip.
Let's take a look at this video montage right now.
For you all day. Are you worried what your friends see? Will it ruin your reputation loving me? 'Cause I'm a dirty white boy. Yeah, dirty white boy. A dirty white boy. Drive no big black car. Don't like no Hollywood movie star. You want me to be true to you. You don't give a damn what I do to you. I'm just a dirty white boy. 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 Dirty white boy.
Well, I must admit, Mr. Hart, that you do have some very impressive competitors, but your latest acquisition, this Assassin, that is indeed going to spell trouble for a lot of people.
You better believe it, baby, and that's why I've hired him for my new personal bodyguard, baby. The Assassin, the greatest masked wrestler in professional wrestling today, baby. Whatever I say, he can back up, and we're going to show you right now.
All right, let's go to the ring. It's the Assassin getting set to move out against Big Bob Owens. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. Big Bob Owens very quickly trying to pull the Assassin around the ring, but he found out that's a mistake. It just doesn't happen. And the Assassin very quickly unloading on him and caught him with a high hip toss. Assassin closes in on him again. Brother! Now, that was 280 pounds into the air with a flying drop kick on Big Bob Owens. The Assassin can do it all. He can lash out with those hands, those fists, those feet. He'll drop kick you. He'll do it all. He is a dangerous individual. Dick Patrick, the referee. And Patrick warning the Assassin. The Assassin very much in charge of things. Ooh, right down into the throat of Big Bob Owens. Owens managed to power out. Got to give him credit for that. The Assassin right back after him again. And Nick Patrick warning the Assassin. But the Assassin just ignoring Patrick. There you see Jimmy Hart issuing advice to the Assassin. High knee lift by the Assassin. Now, Nick Patrick got his hands full with the Assassin. Now the Assassin moving outside the ring, moving up on that top rope, down across the chest of Big Bob Owens. It is all over. It is all over, and so the Assassin, the latest acquisition of Jimmy Hart, certainly made an impressive debut here on Championship Wrestling from Georgia. Certainly no question about that. Championship going on the line right now. Bob Roop defending against Tommy Wildfire Rich. We're waiting now for Tommy Rich to appear in the ring, and we'll be set to go. This is for the National Television Championship, and we're waiting for Rich to appear. Here he comes. Young fella, originally from Tennessee, now making his home in Atlanta, Georgia. There's the bell, and the match is on. They lock up collar and elbow, and it's Roop very quickly getting the forearm drag and twist. As they take Rich to the canvas. Rich back to his feet very quickly. Once again, they lock up. Duck under, go behind by Roop, and Roop gets a full Nelson. Rich slips away from it, however. And Roop back on his feet surprisingly fast for a man of his size. Rich down to a trim, 225 pounds, gets a side headlock on Bob Roop. Back into the turnbuckle. And notice the way Rich was set. But Roop, good clean back out. And he pulls him into the ropes once again. Roop caught him with a short shouldering forearm. Reversal here by Rich, and Rich drives one to the midsection of Roop. Rich, good rolling reverse now by Tommy Wildfire Rich. And it is Roop powering out before the count. Roop with about a 35 to 40 pound weight advantage. Roop drove a knee to the midsection, a forearm across the back. Caught him across the shoulder blade, actually. That one dropped Rich. A jolting right hand to the side of the jaw. Roop up on that top rope, and as he tried to come down on him, it was Roop catching him. And so, Rich comes off, caught him beautifully. Good forearm to the side of the jaw, but it's taken its toll. Rich catches him once again in the midsection. Catches him again in the abdominal wall. Rich back to his feet. And it's Rich using the elbow to the top of the head. Take down. He's in the ropes, however. That forces the break. And it's Roop that time driving a knee right to the belt line of Tommy Wildfire Rich. That took some air out of him. Rich having his problems getting it together now as Roop has begun to dominate the situation. A neck breaker by Bob Roop that has Rich on the canvas. atlas and axis vertebrae taking a lot of punishment in that particular neck breaker. It's Rich rolling to one side, but he caught part of that across the back of the skull. And Rich having trouble, those eyes crossed slightly as he's trying to get it together. Ruth caught in the midsection, but it had little or no effect on him. Now Rich. Series to the midsection, one to the side of the jaw, an Irish whip. Caught him with the elbow, coming off the ropes and whoops it down. Rich right after him. Roop again powers out before the count. Rich overhooks the hit. Beautiful play by Tommy Wildfire Rich. And that may have spelled the difference in this match. A float over now. No, sir. Roop again able to power out. Remember, Roop was primarily a Greco-Roman competitor. He's an excellent catch-can wrestler. He's All-Army champion. But he's got to put it all together now if he's going to retain this title. And a series of right hands now. And now it's Rich taking the measure and catches him a beautiful right hook that puts him down. Again, Roop powers out before the count, however. Tommy Wildfire Rich moving in for that Russian leg sweep. Has Roop to the canvas. Lateral press. And again, Roop powers out before the count. And Roop staggering slightly as he came to his feet. So Tommy Rich may have him on the downhill trend now. Ooh. Rich threw those ropes onto the apron. He caught that elbow, and now it's Roop putting the boots to Rich. And Rich driven over the edge of the apron onto the concrete floor. The count is on. Out of 4, 5. Rich coming back in, and Roop allowing him to come back in. Roop brings him up. A good counter by Rich. And Rich using that elbow very effectively. Irish whip off the ropes. Rich caught him with a good drop kick coming off the ropes. And it's Tommy Wildfire Rich. And a snap mare on Bob Roop. And Roop swirling away from it now, and Rich right back on top of him again. Hard right hand into the forehead. An Irish whip, and it's Tommy Wildfire Rich going for the sleeper hold. Rich has the sleeper hold, and so Roop. No, sir. He was able to drive him back into the turnbuckle. That drove the wind out of him. He misses with the right hand, and once again, Tommy Rich goes for the sleeper, but Roop trying to upend him could not. And it's Tommy Wildfire Rich. All right, into the turnbuckle. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert charging in there. Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. The paid plug of Jimmy Hart. And Rich has been lacerated. Rich has been lacerated. The referee calling for the bell. Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert punishing Tommy Wildfire Rich. Match has been stopped, obviously, because of the interference, and Rich, his face rapidly becoming a total crimson mass. Wait a minute, Rick Rude just hit the ring. Rick Rude just hit the ring. Correction, Ron Ritchie, I'm sorry. Ron Ritchie just hit the ring. And so Tommy Rich being administered to right now. And the Hollywood Blondes have joined me here.
That's right, the Hollywood Blondes have joined you, Gordon Sully, and other people all over the world want to see the Hollywood Blondes. So come on down to the arena, because we're going to be in your area very, very soon. Woo!
Well, I want you to meet Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, baby, just like Tommy Rich did. Lord, it's Tommy Rich, Ole Anderson, the family is ready, baby. I ain't out here jobbing, I'm out here playing, baby. From now on, we mean business, right, Eddie?
That's right, Gordon. You know what Tommy Rich is going to have to do? Instead of leaving the area or getting out of wrestling, he better get on the next space shuttle that's going to outer space, because when Hot Stuff gets through, I don't care anywhere, I want him.
You better get a stretcher, pal. You better get a stretcher.
Well, obviously, assistance is being rendered to Tommy Wildfire Rich through at the Omni, and of course, Wednesday night, December 26th, Huntington, West Virginia.
Huntington, Cleveland, Saginaw, Columbus, Atlanta, it doesn't matter. Bob Roop, and I should say Jimmy Hart, have got a Christmas present for you. We just gave Tommy Rich his early. I told you nobody could beat me.
You're looking looking at a great wrestler. Look at Root, baby. He's got everything. He's got a body.
We'll see them on tour, that's for sure. The Long Riders, the National Tag Team Champions, they recently acquired those belts in the big $100,000 tournament. Wild Bill and the Hog, and it's the Hog out there first against Dale Burnett. Roger Bond is Burnett's partner. And the Hog, dominating the situation, catches him with a headbutt coming off the turnbuckle, drives a boot to the midsection. Burnett charging now to the midsection, driving that shoulder in. Bottom wrist lock now, and he makes the tag with Wild Bill. Wild Bill moves into the ring. Forearm drag and twist on Burnett, drives a move to the chest. Forearm to the thoracic area of the back. And so Burnett needs desperately to tag up. Wild Bill very much in charge of the situation. Burnett looking for somewhere to go and can't find a location. Again, the tag is made. All right. Roger Bond tags up. Bond moving out against the Hog, and the Long Rider catches him. Full body slam on Roger Bond, and the tag is made once again, and so the Long Riders tagging in and out. Smash Bond into the turnbuckle. That's Wild Bill, Long Rider. Bond fires to the midsection, fires again. Drives the Long Rider back, but only slightly. He paid about as much attention to that as he would a mosquito bite. Oh, man, drove that knee right into the midsection. Bond double over and in a lot of trouble here. Gut-wrench salto executed by Wild Bill. The Long Rider telling him to get back to his feet, tags up. These Irwin brothers are double tough, no question about it. They're short on the scientific methods of wrestling, but they're long on just brute force and brutality. Burnett battered to the canvas again by the Long Riders. Burnett makes the tag. Bond tags up, and he is in the ring, and it's Wild Bill in there now. Wild Bill just drove that boot right into it. And as Burnett tried to come in and lock him off at the pass, it was the Hog, the Long Rider, catching him. And so, Dick Patrick raising the hand of the National Tag Team Champions, the Long Riders, who are victorious in this match. Well, that's just about all the time we have for this week on Championship Wrestling from Georgia. We appreciated your cards and letters, by the way. Keep them coming. And we'll try and bring you as many of the matches that you've been asking for as we can. Remember, some great action upcoming next week. So be sure and tune in at the same time. We'll be looking for you then. Until then, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long from the beach state of Georgia. Hey, thank you. Thank you so very much, and what a spirited crowd we have here today. And, brother, I'll tell you what, they have ample reason to be spirited because we've got some great matches upcoming. I'm Gordon Soley, your host.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. You know Gordon Soley, who is the smartest man in professional wrestling, and why am I? I'll tell you why, baby. Because, you see, I've got a lot of surprises for all you people out there. A special gift from Jimmy Hart to all of you people in TV land. So what I want you to do, I want you to call a friend. I want you to call a relative. I want you to turn that TV set up, baby. I want you to move that chair close to that TV. Put down your cheese and bologna sandwiches. Because like Jimmy Hart said, I've got a surprise for you, a gift for you, and a gift for Wildfire Tommy Rich, Ole Anderson, and Thunderbolt Patterson. What you're going to see today, baby, you won't believe. It's going to be the greatest day of my life, Gordon.
Oh, boy. Talk about Ebenezer Scrooge and something for Christmas. That's about what we're going to get from Jimmy Hart. All right, we've got a matchup coming right now. It'll be the Dirty White Boys going up against Frank Lang. And, all right, let's see what happens here now. We got Carl Smith. These Dirty White Boys are indeed a dangerous combination. There's no question about it. And here's Carl Smith facing his problems right off the bat with one of the Dirty White Boys. And you can hear the crowd saying that Jimmy Hart's a wimp, and he's denying this fact.
Those ladies thrown out of the studio right in about 2 minutes if you don't quit calling me a wimp, because I am not a wimp. I am a man, baby.
Jimmy Hart proclaiming the fact that he is indeed a man. And that's very interesting, because a lot of people would dispute that. All right. Brings him up a full body slam on Smith. Came down with that elbow, but Smith rolled to one side. Makes the tag. Frank Lang moves into the ring now. Remember this match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Lang brings him up a full body slam on the Dirty White Boys. Got him with a beautiful flying drop kick coming off the ropes. And it's Lang very much in control of the situation. Smith and Lang in the maroon trunks. As we said, of course, one fall, a 10-minute time limit. Got some great matches coming up throughout the entire course of the United States. Brought to you by the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA, the oldest and largest sanctioning body of professional wrestling the world over. Good move by Lang. Hiplock
They use the
takedown.
ropes over here. They pull my man's hair. They're pulling tights, and they use the rope. The referee didn't even call it. I can't believe it. It's a conspiracy against the First family.
Jimmy Hart's complaint about the tactics of... Look at that bridge by Lang. Beautiful bridge, and look at that muscular conformation and definition. Lang gets the side headlock now on the Dirty White Boys. There, special thanks to Jim Massey and the group from Cincinnati, Ohio. Nice to have them here visiting with us at the television wrestling arena here at WTBS. Lang in trouble here as the Dirty White Boys have been moving rather effectively. Caught him with a lariat coming off the ropes. Full body slam again by the Dirty White Boys. Dirty White Boys down across the chest of... All right, Lang in trouble. Lang, who started off extremely well against the Dirty White Boys, finding himself with a lot of problems here. And it's Lang, again, being punished rather by the Dirty White Boys. Okay, he blocked that. He blocked it, but probably caught a muscle spasm there. Hard rocking right hand to the side of the jaw. Jimmy Hart in the foreground watching this match with a great deal of interest. His Dirty White Boys are tremendously successful. No question about that. But they're not wrestling against the kind of competitors that you would find in a man like Ole Anderson or Thunderbolt Patterson or Tommy Rich or Ron Ritchie. Tag is made once again. High knee lift by the Dirty White Boys. Drives Frank Lang back into the ropes. Lang needs very desperately to get over and tag up. Good move by Lang. Excellent move, a rolling reverse. The Dirty White Boys break it up. Lang trying to get back to his feet. Smashed into that turnbuckle, hanging on. But it's very much the Dirty White Boys in charge of the situation. And now the Dirty White Boys. A series of rights and lefts into the midsection. Into that abdominal wall of Frank Lang. And Lang in a lot of problems. Full body slam. Irish whip. Caught him with a forearm. That dropped Lang to the canvas. You can hear the crowd now as they pick up the chant. They know that it's going to take somebody like an Ole Anderson or a Thunderbolt Patterson to put him away. And the Dirty White Boys really dominating the situation. Dirty White Boys bring him up again. He needs to tag up with Smith. He needs very badly to tag up with Smith because he's in a whole world of hurt here. And reaching out, but too far away. Lang drops to one knee. He is completely dominated now by the Dirty White Boys. No question about this.
I don't want to hear this. I'm telling you right now, they're going to get me upset. You understand that?
Jimmy Hart proceeding to get upset because they're talking about Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. Well, they can talk all they want. You've got these Dirty White Boys. You've got the Terminators all being brought in by Jimmy Hart. And I understand these Terminators, and I've watched them in action, are as dangerous and as bad as the tag team combinations I've ever seen. Lang hurdled through the ring ropes onto the concrete. Lang brought up. Full body slam and a flat of the foot into the pectoralis majors of Lang. Referee Nick Patrick calling the count. Nick Patrick telling the Dirty White Boy to back up, and now the other Dirty White Boy catching Lang outside the ring, but the count was broken. And so the match continues. 3. Lang trying to roll his way back into the ring. More and more punishment being administered now by the Dirty White Boys under the management of the Wimp, Jimmy Hart. Please do not call him the Wimp. That upsets it.
I don't like Ole Anderson's name out here. I'm telling you right now. Look, his fan club's over there. 2 women look like they're about 70 years old. They're Ole Anderson fan club, and I don't like this. You understand?
Jimmy Hart complaining about some of the folks here at ringside who are very definitely Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson fans. And so the Dirty White Boys have kept Lang pretty much under control, but he has taken the brunt of this battle thus far, and they have not been able to put his shoulders to the mat. They have not been able to make him submit, and so it'll be interesting to see if Lang can ever make it over and tag up with Smith. Snapmare takes it back to the canvas. Lateral press. Lang powers out to blow the count. Lang proving what kind of stuff he's made of. Jimmy Hart complaining again about the crowd calling him a wimp. Lang fires to the midsection. Fires again and fires again. Desperation now, he clubs him alongside the head, but he's reaching for the wrong corner. Reaching for the wrong corner. Now a headbutt into the midsection. Dirty White Boys have Lang in trouble in that corner. He's got to get over and tag up. There's no question about it. He's got to get over and tag up with Smith. Lang again, full body slam. Dirty White Boys crashing down. And Smith now makes it into the ring. Smith begins to fire away. Smith firing away at the Dirty White Boys. And they're backing away. There's the Carl Smith now looking to... tried to set him for a backdrop. Caught with a boot. Just in the shoulder area. Double Russian leg sweep. A double Russian leg sweep. Count of 3. Count of 3. It's all over. So Smith, game competitor, a hard charger. But Smith just could not match the pressure of the dirty white boys. Of course, Jimmy Hart also has with him the Terminators, and I understand that they are an exceptionally dangerous tag team combination. So all I can say is that Mr. Hart has certainly made his presence well felt here on this first portion of this hour of Championship Wrestling from Georgia. Tommy Rich. And Rich, a quick neck breaker on Sal. There you see him, Abdullah the Butcher. And there's an unlikely combination if you'd ever want to see it. But may I just tell you this much. It's interesting to watch Abdullah the Butcher at ringside when you get men like Tommy Wildfire Rich and George South in the ring. Rich catches him. Count of 3. Count of 3. It is all over for Mr. South. And let me take a moment right now to talk to getting in the program, and he said he had a great gift for the wrestling world. I'm just a little bit curious because for what he said at the beginning of the program, I don't think there was much a gift.
Stamps, you better shut up over there. I promise you. Let me tell you something. I am sick and tired of these people calling me wimp. You know, they should be happy. I've got a gift for all you people today and all you people out there in TV land. A special surprise that's going to be coming up later. But let me tell you something, man. When I go to the arenas, I'm tired of people saying nasty names to me and throwing things at me. From now on, baby, nobody's going to touch one hair on Jimmy Hart's head because, like I said, I've got a big surprise today for Tommy Rich and Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson and whoever else it may concern. And I can't wait, baby. Time is ticking down. You know, people say that money can buy happiness, or it can't buy, or it can. Who cares what they say? But let me tell you something. You know what I say? It can buy happiness. You understand that? Ole Anderson, Thunderbolt Patterson, Tommy Rich, beware, baby. I've got a big surprise for you. You understand that? A big surprise.
All right, he's got a big surprise for us. Well, we'll wait and find out what it is. Let's go to the ring now because it's going to be the Long Riders going up against Mark Hill and the Italian Stallion. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. All right. And so, these Long Riders are about as dangerous as you'll ever find. Hog Irwin and Wild Bill Irwin. It's Scott Hog Irwin and Wild Bill Irwin. They're big, they're bad, they're powerful, and they have absolutely no respect for law and order, that's for sure. They bring up Mark Hill a full body slam, and Hill in a lot of trouble now in those green trucks. They blocked him from making the tag. Off the ropes. Caught him right at the belt line. Gut wrench salto by Wild Bill Irwin. Then with ample avoirdupois, Mr. Hill is in some kind of serious trouble here. The Italian Stallion needs to make that tag. Good move by Hill, however. Excellent move. However, the Long Rider breaks it up. And as the Italian Stallion moves in, it's Irwin in a lot of trouble here. The Italian Stallion firing away at the midsection. Finally, an Irish whip in and knee to the midsection. Drives the Italian Stallion to the canvas. Off the ropes once again. Tag is made. And it's the Italian Stallion lashing out with a series of right hands. They're scoring very effectively on the Long Rider. Catches him once again. Another hard shot to the side of the jaw. Now it's Irwin fighting back. Irwin with clubbing blows around the head and shoulders. Drives the Italian Stallion back to the canvas. The flat of the foot, working effectively. Referee Nick Patrick warning the Long Riders about the use of the foot. Wild Bill Irwin back in there now as Scott Hogg Irwin moves outside the ring. And they don't drive, as they say, they don't drive any of those rice machines. Stallion jammed into the turnbuckle. Remember, this match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. The Long Riders, as dangerous a combination as you'll find in professional wrestling. They, of course, holding the tag team championship in the Long Riders. Now with a headbutt on the Italian Stallion, drives him back to the canvas. The Stallion in the red trunks coming up very slowly. Hogg Irwin connects underneath the chin. And that looks like it was right in the throat area. Stallion fires to the midsection, fires again and again. In behind his man, tags up with Mark Hill. Mark Hill moves in, fires with two hard right hands, a left and a right. Snapmare that takes Hill to the canvas once again. All right, Hill keeping his man in trouble. It is Wild Bill Irwin punishing Mark Hill. Once again, the Italian Stallion moves in. It's Irwin firing away on him. We got a Pier 6 brawl going now. Lefts and rights exchange to the jaw. The deep hook into the midsection now puts the Italian Stallion down to his knees. Brother. All right. Irwin in a lot of trouble here. Irwin in a whole heap of trouble. Brings him up. Full body slam on Irwin. Irwin driven back to the canvas. Irwin powers out before the count. It's Irwin backing away now as the Italian Stallion closes in. And that one cut him off at the pass. Another one to the midsection, but the Italian Stallion fires one to the side of the jaw. Irwin fires back now, tags up with Scott Hogg Irwin. All right, using that head as a battering ram, driving into the head of the Italian Stallion, but he is able to power out before the count. So referee Nick Patrick has had his hands full on this one. Off the ropes once again, spears him into a high backdrop. So the Italian Stallion taking a lot of percussion. Those 26 movable vertebrae and the 7 stationary. Count of 2. Close call for the Stallion. Mark Hill makes the tag. Mark Hill moves in, and he is jammed into that turnbuckle. Wild Bill Irwin moves into the ring now. Off the ropes. Aha! Brings him up, the backbreaker on Mark Hill. Hill in a world of trouble. And it is Hill jammed into the turnbuckle. So the Long Riders now appear to be totally dominating the situation. They catch him right at the belt line into that rather ample abdominal wall. Now they've got him. Count of 3, it is all over. A count of 3, it is all over. And so the victors in this match are indeed the Long Riders. Over here because I've got something I'd like to talk over with them. And I am referring, of course, to the match that they held recently against Tommy Wildfire Rich and Brad Armstrong in the Omni. And, well, a rather disastrous turn of events.
You know what? There's no more Brad Armstrong. He got smart and left. But this dumb bleach blonde, Tommy Rich, is hanging around. Well, boy, we're going to have to teach you a lesson again. I guess you're just a little slow. It's going to take a second time before you learn the lesson. Show the people. Yeah, show the people. Show the people.
I'll tell you what, gentlemen.
Show the people.
You'll just be quiet a moment. Let's take a look.
What do we do? We beat them up.
Yeah, all right, let's take a look at this situation. And so it is indeed a situation here with the Long Riders against Tommy Wildfire Rich and Brad Armstrong. And, all right, there you see Jimmy Hart lending his commentary to the entire situation. This, of course, is a situation where things did not go well for Tommy Wildfire Rich and Brad Armstrong, as you can see, but there was plenty of outside interference, and the Long Riders seem to move extremely well when they've got all of the outside help that they need. Aid being administered at this particular time, and in a moment I'm going to be talking to Tommy Wildfire Rich about this entire situation.
I got a lot of it. You know, I got a lot to say, Gordon, and I don't know how long I got to do it. But what I'm saying, I want that camera on me. You know, it hurts to have to come out here and say, you got your tail whipped. Well, that's exactly what happened to me at the Omni. Abdullah, look right here, brother. Look, right there, $1,000 bounty reward. You know, Jimmy Hart, you talking about you laying out money to get people hurt. You're not even enough man to get in the ring. You don't have the guts, the fortitude, the desire, nothing. But I'll say one thing about you, Hart, that I have picked up from you. You're smart. You're a smart man because you went out, you laid your bounty out, and you got people after Tommy Rich. But what I'm talking about is right there, Abdullah, look, right there's your bounty, Jimmy Hart. We're talking about, we're coming after you, Abdullah the Butcher. You know, I thought of all the people, who can Tommy Rich get? I fought men all over the country. Who's the toughest man Tommy Rich has ever fought in his life? And I got to thinking, it's Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher, man. I dreamt about it at night. So I got on the telephone. And you know, Hart, you said one thing. Money will buy anything. And you know what? I found out you was exactly right. Because what I went out and did, I had to go borrow some money. But in order for me to get at you, the Long Riders, I don't care how much money it takes. We're coming after you with everything we got. So what I'm telling you, Hart, you get all the bounties that you want. I'm talking about, hey, I got Abdullah the Butcher. You know, he don't care. He don't feel no pain. So Jimmy Hart, you little wimp, bring it on. Anytime, anywhere, any place. Abdullah, yeah, bring it on.
I'm here. We're bringing on a very special word. Mystery anymore about Tommy Wildfire.
Tommy Wildfire Rich, he comes out here and says, I had to think about who the toughest man I ever fought against was. And he got Abdullah the Butcher. Well, he's wrong. Abdullah the Butcher's not the toughest man he ever fought. Well, Scott Hoggerman and Wild Bill are the two toughest men he ever fought. And you're going to see it, people. When you see Tommy Rich's name on the marquee across from us, you know he's going to fight the best. We're the best. We're the toughest. Abdullah the Butcher is just going to make one more big stepping stone for us. Just another piece of meat, Abdullah the Butcher. You know, there's people out there, they like to walk to the drum that society puts out. Well, we don't move to nobody's drum. We move to our own tone and our own timing. And right now we're carrying these belts, and Tommy Rich, you know, my brother doesn't think too much of you, and that's probably the best thing. But I gotta say one thing, is that you keep coming back, and you keep coming back, and you keep getting beat up. Well, Scott Hogg, what are we gonna do this time? We're gonna beat him up good!
Thank you so very much, gentlemen. They've made their point abundantly clear.
You are a yellow-belly coward, baby.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a look at a...
I'd like to get him. For 1 minute, I'd like to be in that ring with him.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
I'm tired of running you down, Ronnie Garvin. You're not 30.
All right, he's ready to go. Ronnie Garvin is telling him, let's get it on. Come on in the ring. Ronnie.
There's a coward for you.
Oh, there's a coward for you. And the... There you see him, the national television champion, Bob Roop. And, of course, anytime Bob Roop goes into the ring, that championship is on the line. And that's Terry Ellis moving out against Roop right now. Roop, a tremendously powerful man. He's out of Southern Illinois, where he went on to the Olympics from collegiate wrestling. Another great wrestler who came out of Southern Illinois and is now no longer active in the sport, but a great competitor. And one of the nicest human beings I've ever known, George McCreary. And wherever you are, George, my best to you, particularly at this time of the year. Roop punishing Mr. Ellis. Terry Ellis taking a lot of punishment. Wow. There's the thing about Roop. There's the thing about Roop. He'll lull you into a false sense of security, and then suddenly, my friend, your bottom side is on that canvas, and you really find out what it's all about. Roop, who was outstanding in Greco-Roman wrestling, not terribly unlike Jesse Barr, another great Greco-Roman competitor. Roop competed in the Olympics. Jesse Barr was denied that opportunity because of the boycott in 1980. But great similarities between the two of them. There's a sort of a trend, I think, that goes with a lot of the Greco-Roman competitors who have turned professional. I'm not referring to all Greco-Roman competitors, obviously. All right, one right at the belt line of Terry Ellis, doubles him over. Roop lashes out, clubbing right hand. Roop catches him again. See, upper body is upper body, but when you start using that fist as effectively as Roop is to the upper body, particularly around the jawline, that's not exactly what the rules and regulations stipulate. I want to say hi to our good friend, good friends. We got a nice, interesting letter from him this past week, George and Ginny Canales, out of Sandusky, Ohio. And, of course, that's not too terribly far away from a lot of our good friends in Cleveland, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio. Roop continues to dominate the posture here. And, of course, Jim Massey from Cincinnati, Ohio, visiting here at the studios of WTBS in our sports arena. Terry Ellis in a lot of trouble here as he's caught in the side headlock. There's the Oklahoma Stampede. The Oklahoma Stampede. Perfectly executed. And so the national heavyweight champion, Bob Roop, retains his championship. Let me take a moment right now to talk to
Now for the surprise that I brought all you people out there in TV land. Like I told you early in the program, baby. Ole Anderson, Thunderbolt Patterson, Tommy Rich, baby. This is a surprise, baby. I call these gentlemen the Terminators. You know what Terminator means, Gordon Soley? You know what it means? It means finish, destroy, get rid of once and for all. Because now it's Jimmy Hart, a Thunderbolt, or Ole Anderson, or who it may concern. And these men are going to get the job done. You understand that? Tell them, Crow, what it's going to be like, baby.
We're going to beat you, Ole. We're going to beat you just like we beat everybody all our lives. That's what we work at. That's what we do.
Yeah. Come on, Ole. That's right, Ole Anderson. Where are you in Thunderbolt now? I'll tell you where they are. They're in the back hiding underneath the, they're in the back hiding underneath the cameras. That's where they are. Get targeted. These are the Terminators. This is my surprise, baby. You know, I had the New York Assassins. They couldn't get the job done. Then I brought in Big Fat King Kong Bundy, Mr. Blobber. He couldn't beat them. So, Ole Anderson, you escaped me the first time, but you won't escape me this time. You and Thunderbolt.
Here's a very special word.
I'll make you cry. Huntington, Columbus, Cleveland, wherever it might be. The Omni.
Yeah, well, don't forget Saginaw, my friend.
Saginaw, Michigan. You people say hello to your fair-haired boys on the way in, because once they get in the building, they're mine.
And this would make a nice Christmas present for a lot of people. But if you try to get it from me, you're going to think the chimney fell on you, because I'm not
Ronnie Garvin is looking for you for sure.
Don't do it.
All right, one fall television time remaining. The Terminators moving out against Mike Starbuck.
Surprise, baby.
And Mike Jackson and the Terminators wasting no time as they attack both of these men at the same time.
Look at them, Gordon. Look at them.
Your men don't understand to tag in and tag out?
Listen, you know what? They don't understand one thing is what I tell them. Like I said, baby, we ain't here to play around. Look at this. Look at Mike Jackson up in the air. What does the man weigh, 220 pounds? Look at him right there. These are the Terminators. What does it mean? Finish, destroy, wipe out. And that's exactly what we're going to do to everybody from now on. The Terminators and Jimmy Hart. You understand that?
Mr. Hart, it amazes me with your running record right now. The New York Assassins, Bundy, and others, who have all been losers to Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. What makes you think this team is going to do any better?
Because they're different. You don't have to give Thunderbolt and Ole Anderson one thing, baby. They went out and they did a little work. They got in shape a little bit. And like I said, both of them were legends in their own time, but now they're just legends in their own mind. This is the new era of professional wrestling, 1984, 1954. This is the dynasty of Jimmy Hart, baby. The first family of professional wrestling, and we're taking over wrestling everywhere. You understand that? Look at the Terminators. Look at this guy here. Who's this guy here, man? What's this guy?
Yeah, Randy Barber moving very effectively.
He looks like he's got TB or something. Watch what the Terminators do to him. Look at this, man. Look at him.
Well, you speak very confidently, but I will say this, that Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Jackson are certainly taking the Terminators right to the end. All right, forearm into the
I don't think
midsection.
Jackson trying to come in the ring. Come on, Jackson, what's wrong with you? He's not trying to tag in. You know why? Because he knows exactly what's going to happen to him. These are the Terminators. They're big and they are bad. You understand this from now on. Ole Anderson, Tommy Rich, Thunderbolt Patterson, wherever you go, baby, we're going to be looking at you and looking for you. You understand that?
All right, there you have it. Jimmy the Wimp. Jimmy Hart, I'm sorry. Jimmy Hart bringing his Terminators to a victorious conclusion in this particular match. It was one fall with television time remaining. And so the Terminators have disposed of this tag team combination. But Mr. Hart may want to take some second thoughts about this entire situation. For the national television champion, Mr. Bob Roop.
You know, Christmas is coming up. There's nothing I can do about your people's Christmas, whether it's nice or not. But people like the Terminators, Jimmy Hart, and Bob Roop, we can make Christmas real miserable for some people like Ronnie Garvin, Jerry Lawler, Tommy Rich, Pigface Anderson. And hey, think about how many wrestlers left out of here now because they couldn't stand the heat that I put on them. Where's Brad Armstrong? Where's he? Where's Tim Horner? Well, he's gone. That's right, I chased him out. Garvin, you're next. Rich, you're next. Lawler, if you ever show your face in here, you're next. It's not going to be a Merry Christmas for some people.
Mott Horizon.
Oh!
And they hail from Chicago of all things, and they get a lot of wild fans on their side, motorcycle gangs, and right here we kind of give them the run. So we showed them that we got a little speed and a little strict there. Right there. You can see here. That's me on the high dive.
Oh!
4.6 degree of difficulty on that.
See, there is no way this doesn't hurt.
And here comes
Look
the chair.
At that. That's a metal chair. Now, is that a breakaway chair, or is that a real metal chair?
No, that's an equalizer. That
What's an
290 down. Well, those guys are a lot bigger and stronger than we are, so
they are bigger and
somebody
stronger.
puts the chair in, we'll use it. Yeah. Why not? Can I ask you a question?
Well, you look like a businessman.
Thank you. I like to think of myself as a
He
businessman.
looks like a regular person almost, except for the long blonde hair. I mean, you could be a banker if we could get the hair, and kind of dye it brown.
I'm working on a part-time career like that.
I would think so.
Money. Trying to anyway.
They say that you lead life in the fastest lane. Now, everybody fantasizes about the cars, and you're usually seen with two attractive women on either arm. No, one on either arm, not two on either arm. Is that really the life, or is that the image?
Well, I think that aside from the fact that my wife is going to be watching this program.
I did not know that. Oh, okay.
The cars, the lifestyle.
That's Ric Flair. I got so wrapped up in being Ric Flair the last 10 years that I probably neglected my family a little bit, but it's been successful for me in promoting myself and making me successful in professional wrestling.
In other words,
I've had limousines, airplanes, big houses, you name it.
Well, then how much do you earn to do that? How much does somebody like a Ric Flair make?
Well, Ric Flair started wrestling when he was 23 years of age, and Ric Flair hasn't made less than $200,000.
All right, so that pays for it. Did you always know that's what you're going to be, a wrestler?
No, my father's a physician in Minneapolis, and at one time I wanted to be a dentist. And I got into school and got so wrapped up in the Vaseline and the fraternity life and, you know, all the good things that college represents, except for the academic part of it that I didn't achieve academically as well as I probably should have. And wrestling is something that I'd always watched, and I always had a lot of admiration for people like Vern Gagne in Minneapolis, where I was brought up. And his son and I were the same age, and